Welcome, Pine Belt, for today's Facebook Live update. My digital handler says we are up, and whoop, my hair is crazy. Nobody told me. Hold on. There we go. That's probably a little better. So, let me make sure it's better. Yeah, definitely better. All right, thank you for bearing with me through that, as sometimes cameras are the best mirror. So let's go ahead and get started here. There's really nothing weather-related at this point that's going to affect really the rest of your day, other than it's going to be beautiful. You might want to get out and enjoy that. But this morning we did have some pretty dense fog in many locations, particularly around the Hattiesburg area. And of course, that's like the biggest population center in the Pine Belt, where a lot of people are commuting. So that could have caused some problems. I was aware of some congestion on 59, but thankfully it didn't look like there was anything more than that going on. But we also do have for you guys that are joining me here on Facebook, we have a Facebook traffic report that we do now. And it's actually going to be making its way towards sunrise pretty soon. So well, that's something to look out for if you're a fan of the digital and want to see it go towards the on-air. So pretty cool, little teaser information for you. But let's go ahead and take a look here at the quick Facebook Live update here. We're in the midst of a warming trend with more summer-like weather ahead. Yesterday was cooler as the clouds and the rain moved through. Thankfully, despite a level 1 risk of severe weather, it really never looked like that was a major concern. But here in South Mississippi, we have most of the ingredients for a strong thunderstorm on any given day anyway. So it's always better to, I guess, err on the side of caution for those few overachieving storms, which thankfully we didn't have yesterday. It does look like one popped up a little pretty late in the afternoon in Jackson County and made things kind of windy there, and they ended up with some pockets of heavier rainfall as well. So warming trend begins now. That's going to get us into the mid 80s, even potentially a little closer to the upper 80s later today. And then we are basically knocking on 90's door tomorrow before the clouds move back in to shade us down. Oop, I think I went too far. Yeah, so clouds return Thursday. We will start to see those moving in as we head into Wednesday, though. They'll still be very thin. I would still say no more than 25% cloud coverage at any given point. So tomorrow will be a very, very sunny day and is the main reason why we will bounce back and very likely get close to 90, or at least get to it in a few locations out there. And then the summer heat and humidity return or stick around soon. We will see that very shortly, especially as we head later on the week. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about here in a few moments. So looking outside right now, there's some very selective cloud cover. You can see some here at Laurel Ford in Laurel with a light northwesterly breeze. Over here at Forest General Hospital in Hattiesburg, you cannot see that cloud cover, though I believe this in the distance is what we were looking at there in Laurel. So it seems like it's just a little further towards the north and a little bit towards the east. So looking still pretty good outside now that that fog has lifted in the area. Those dense fog advisories were set to expire at 9 o'clock, and I would say that was pretty good timing. Here at Circle C Tractor in Waynesboro, already warming up pretty nicely in the mid 70s there. Received a little bit under a quarter of an inch of rain yesterday. Not everybody is reporting those values, though. I would say on average we got about an inch or a little less, depending on your location, as that line, it was really falling apart by the time it made it to Mississippi and then through the area. So here in Jones College in Ellisville, again, just a little bit further towards the north, so we're seeing those few clouds there. Again, that would be barely 25% coverage, I would say, 50-50 at the most. Again, that's not really ruining anyone's day. It's actually making for a pretty nice contrast to the sun there. But even those will be cleared later out as we keep heading through the day. The selective cloud cover gets thinner and thinner until we head into the afternoon and evening, which I have us getting up to about 86 for today's high, right around 4 o'clock. And then start working our way down from there, which you still see will be at about 85 by 7, and then 9 p.m. shouldn't have a sun there, but by then things will finally start cooling, just not going to cool all that much. We're going to definitely be trending on the warm side for our next few mornings into the mid to upper 60s. So looking outside on our radar right now, you don't see any rain in the area at all, pushed just east of us, sitting in Mobile for the tail end of that with Greenville and Evergreen there getting the a few remaining showers and thunderstorms along that line. You can see here that the fog that was with us lifted pretty quickly. We head into the afternoon. This is running a little cool, I believe, but still gets us into those mid-80s as the clouds clear out completely. That's later today at about 5 o'clock, when I expect we'll be around the time we're hitting our high. Then as we head through the night and into the morning, we see fog return, though not everywhere. And the real interesting thing about this is, which you'll see it again Thursday, which I believe will be more foggy, is all this over here in the corner here is fog, this kind of darker gray. And you see it's putting some little green blips in there. That's what's interesting about computer modeling and things like that. Computers don't, I guess, have the reasoning that we do, the reasoning ability. So it reads saturation and there's moisture. It's trying to put rain chances there, and there won't be a cloud in the sky. So that's one reason why you always have a meteorologist looking over this stuff to make sure that nothing squirrely like that happens. You don't want 20% chance of rain when there's nothing up there at all. And also a good reason why, I know the joke, we're wrong all the time and still get paid. But also I'm trying to do, we saw the sky conditions. I'm trying to do like one icon for a whole area for the whole day. I could see it, but we've gotten a lot better, especially over the last 10, 15 years than even we were in the 90s and stuff. So, and of course that wasn't 10 or 15 years ago at this point. But as we look at the hour-by-hour futurecast for tomorrow, again, getting right up against those 90s there. Nobody put one on there. New Augusta, Leakesville, though, Columbia, all reporting 89 around that time. Again, I think this is generally running a bit cool there, but you see those clouds starting to inch back in. We're still talking mostly sunny skies. Here comes the fog. You see there's the green blips there. Again, barely any cloud cover at all. Just that fog there picking up on how much moisture is available, and it says, oh, there's so much moisture, there must be some rain. Not the case. But we will head into Thursday, and that's when you start seeing more noticeable cloud cover arriving, where we'll start the day at least 25% with a lot of sun, and then we'll end up about 50-50 through the day, and then the clouds build into Friday, which is when we could start seeing our next rainy day moving in. And that's looking very similar to what we saw yesterday in terms of the way I expect it to kind of flare up as we pass sunrise into the afternoon and evening, and then it'll kind of drop off rather quickly. Doesn't look consequential. Looks like as far as rain goes, we'll see a few heavier pockets than we had with this one, but not looking like concerning at the time. We'll see how it looks when we get a little bit closer to it. But a lot of that will need some heating in the day to support that instability. Then in Saturday, you see some real messy stuff in the morning, and then everything's much starts clearing out. But it's going to be hard from this point on, especially because of the very summer-like weather coming in to get a clean-looking radar aggregate like that. Because once you start getting warm and humid enough, and you see right here, we're just steadily inching up from a pretty dry day today to relatively dry day, even though we had the fog, to a nice comfy one. Now we're into sticky, and by the end of the week we climb into the 70s for that dew point, which is basically where we'll be in deep summer. Like that's where like late June, July into August kind of humidity there. And the temperatures going along with that. We get very close to 90 for Wednesday, then the clouds start building and that takes us down. Friday's the rainy one that gets us down into the low 80s. Then we start working our way back up, and this is when that humidity spikes and you see the temperature going up into the upper 80s and low 90s, starting to really feel that summertime heat and humidity. And you can see the temperature outlook for even this week, guaranteed above average, which average for this time of year is about 82. As we finish off April and head into May. And then looking here at the temperature outlook for the next week, you see that it's not so guaranteed, but it's definitely going to be above average, just not as dramatically so there. So looking at your 7-day here, it's pretty sunny, at least for the next couple there. For today, we had that morning fog, then things clearing out, getting very close, if not to 90 tomorrow, starting very sunny, and only seeing those starting to work their way in after that. And then we go up even further there for Thursday, about 50-50 cloud cover, so still a pretty good day and very warm and humid, but then that rain moves in. That rain's the only thing that's going to cool us down this week, getting us down to about 83. I think this one updated to 85 for some reason. But that wouldn't surprise me either. It's all going to come down to how much rain we see, and I don't think it'll be even as much for most places as we saw on Monday. So after that, we start working our way up. Pretty much by the very next day, very close to 90. The clouds steadily thin as we head into next week, though still kind of averaging out to 50-50 at that point as we see them slowly thin. But it doesn't stop there at 90. In fact, do I have my 10-day on there? I do. You see it just kind of keeps going up, and it just gets more and more humid. 69 degrees there for next Thursday. Now that is 10 days out. So even as I tried to say, meteorology is pretty accurate. Once you start trying to get 10 days out anyway, you're more looking at trends than trying to nail down a specific number that far out and have any confidence in it whatsoever. I would say the best meteorologist in the world would probably not put the smart money on an exact number 10 days out. It's pretty silly. But we do see some sun pulling out over there, getting into the mid-90s potentially. Again, that's really picking up on just a warming trend there with some very warm mornings ahead that will also be very humid. So I will go ahead and let you guys go again. There wasn't too much to talk about anyway as far as relevant or concerning weather. It's just sun coming out, and I hope you can get out and enjoy it, because today's heat will be rather manageable, but the heat and humidity, as you saw, just keeps going up. So once again, if you want to tune in for these and don't want to follow it on the station page, you can always pick up mine at Ryan Mahan at WDAM on Facebook or on Twitter, or I don't even have the icon for what it's called now, the X. That's at Ryan Mahan WX. I generally try to answer any comments that I see on stuff or direct messages as long as it's relevant. I won't answer any question, obviously, but I try to stay engaged. So if you'd like to do that, there's your options. So I will go ahead and let you go for the day. Please get out and enjoy that sun. And just remember, as things really start to heat up, we're going to be talking a lot about heat safety and being sure you're drinking that water.